packed Dallas stadium, absolutely buzzing with that unmistakable World Cup energy. We're looking at the heavily anticipated opening match of Group F at the 2026 FIFA World Cup, right? It's a true heavyweight clash between the Netherlands and Japan, and you could just feel it. This wasn't just another group stage game. The stakes were incredibly high right from the opening whistle, and both squads knew the whole world was watching. And man, did it ever deliver. This dramatic 2-2 draw is already being universally praised as literally the most entertaining match of the tournament so far. Seriously, it wasn't just your standard draw. It was a total emotional roller coaster that had everyone on the edge of their seats from start to finish. If you ever wanted to understand exactly what makes tournament football so captivating, you honestly don't need to look any further than the 90 minutes these two teams just put on the pitch.
Act 1. The tactical chess match. Because, before we get to the absolute fireworks, we've got to look at how the stage was actually set. The first 45 minutes were entirely defined by these clashing tactical philosophies. On one hand, you've got the Netherlands looking to dictate the tempo right out of the gate. They're dominating central possession, really leaning on the elegant midfield distribution of Frenkie de Jong, to Johnny Reinders and Ryan Gravenberch. And then, on the exact opposite side, you have the Samurai Blue. And honestly, the fascinating thing here? They were completely unbothered by the Dutch having the ball. Japan just maintained this incredibly compact defensive shape and absorbed all that pressure with absolute calm. It was like watching a giant puzzle being slowly pieced together. Now, that's not to say we didn't get some serious heart-and-mouth moments early on. The Dutch created the first real opening when Doniel Malen found a pocket of space inside the box, forcing a super sharp reaction save from Zion Suzuki. Cody Gakpo also had a really clear sight of goal, but unfortunately for him, launched it way high into the stands. But hey, Japan wasn't just sitting back passively. Right before the halftime whistle blew, they issued a very serious warning statement. Keito Nakamura fired a shot just wide of the near post, and then Ayase Ueda actually hit the side netting off a razor-sharp pass from Daichi Kamada. But despite all those flashes of danger, the match stayed stubbornly deadlocked at 0-0 going into the break.
So the teams head down the tunnel, the managers make their tweaks, and they come back out. And 5. It took precisely 5 minutes after the restart for that slow, methodical burn to completely explode into an absolute classic. The floodgates didn't just open, they were literally blown entirely off their hinges.
Let's break down the anatomy of this breakthrough right in the 51st minute. The pressure is mounting, right? And Cody Gakpo wins an incredibly dangerous free kick for the Oranje. From the resulting play, Denzel Dumfries steps up and just floats this absolutely pinpoint cross right into the mixer. And I mean, who else but the towering Dutch captain Virgil van Dijk to rise up and meet it? He times it perfectly, powering a clinical header right off the far post and in. Just like that, the ice is broken. 1-0 Netherlands.
But if you thought the Dutch were just going to easily cruise to victory from there, well, Japan definitely had other plans. 57th minute, the instant response. Japan struck back so fast, they barely gave the Netherlands time to finish high-fiving and reset their lines.
And this sequence brilliantly illustrates Japan's lightning-fast counterpunch capability. Midfield maestro Takefusa Kubo aggressively turns on the Jets and drives straight down the center of the pitch. He perfectly draws the defense in and then slips a beautifully weighted pass out to Keito Nakamura. Nakamura cuts inside from the left edge of the box and just unleashes a low snapshot. Crucially, the ball takes this wicked little deflection right through a defender's legs, completely wrong-footing Dutch keeper Bart Verbruggen. Boom, just like that, we are totally level at 1-1. By this point, the intensity inside the stadium was just electric. The Oranje, clearly stung by giving up the equalizer, immediately pushed to take the wheel back. And just past the hour mark, in the 64th minute, they found their breakthrough again, this time courtesy of a moment of sheer, spectacular individual brilliance. To grab that 2-1 cushion, Ryan Gravenberch is pulling the strings in midfield, notching his second assist of the match by finding Crysencio Summerville hovering near the edge of the 18-yard box. Now watch what Summerville does here. This explosive winger drives inward, somehow manages to create this tiny, impossible pocket of space against a whole cluster of Japanese defenders and just curls a magnificent, surgically precise strike right into the far corner. It was his first ever international goal, and it seemingly put the Dutch comfortably back in the driver's seat. But this right here is where the plot really thickens. It brings us to a massive debate for all the tactical analysts out there. Did a defensive shift actually cost the Dutch the game? Because what happened next changed the entire complexion of the match.
So the crucial point we need to understand is the huge gamble taken by Dutch manager Ronald Koeman. With that 2-1 lead supposedly secured, Koeman decides to implement a massive defensive tactical shift. He rolls the dice with a triple substitution to transition his team into a flat back five structure. The logic here is pretty obvious. Shut down the match, stifle the game, manage the clock, and get out of Dallas with 3 points. However, dropping that deep and intentionally inviting the Samurai Blue to attack, that ultimately proved to be a fatal mistake.
The tension in the stadium built right back up to an absolute fever pitch as we ticked into the 89th minute, the final moments of normal time. The Japanese pressure against that Dutch back five was just relentless, and the Samurai Blue end up winning a critical, game-defining corner kick. Late heartbreak and late heroics.
Let's walk through these chaotic, absolutely breathless final moments step by step. The corner comes whipping dangerously into the near post. Substitute Koki Ogawa leaps incredibly high to flick a header back across the face of the goal. It's a crowded box, absolute pandemonium in there, and the ball accidentally strikes the head of an entirely unsuspecting Daichi Kamada. The deflection diverts the ball sharply toward the net. Verbruggen manages to get his hands on it, but there's just way too much pace and deception. He literally can't keep it out. 2-2. The equalizer sparks wild, unbridled celebrations from the entire Japanese bench. It's devastating late heartbreak for the Dutch, and absolute heroics from Japan.
But wait, the drama wasn't quite over. Up goes the fourth officials board, and we are staring down 6 agonizing minutes of stoppage time. The Dutch, totally desperate to salvage the win they thought they had in the bag, throw absolutely everything they have forward in this frantic, last-ditch rally, but that incredibly disciplined Samurai Blue defense, which had happily absorbed pressure all day long, dug deep and held incredibly firm to protect the draw.
The second half was pure whiplash. We went from a tense, slow-burn, 0-0 tactical chess match to this rapid-fire sequence of heavy-hitting punches and counter-punches. Van Dijk opens it in the 51st. Nakamura answers right back in the 57th. Summerville reclaims the lead in the 64th, and then Kamada steals a point in the 89th. It is just a brilliant, breathless sequence of football. Which leaves us with this final, provocative thought. Japan fought back from behind, not once, but twice, to capture a highly precious, well-deserved point against a heavy tournament favorite. This was a masterclass in resilience and tactical adaptability. So, what does this incredibly gritty performance actually mean for the rest of Group F? Well, it effectively blows the group wide open right from match day 1. It pretty much guarantees that the battle to advance is going to be fierce, totally unpredictable, and absolute must-watch viewing for the rest of the tournament. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer. I know for sure I'll be watching the rest of this group very, very closely.